go with my normal service. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Change to mine. Normally I connect to the library, but maybe that does better. So hopefully it does better. Give it a couple minutes, let people get on, then we'll jump into it. All right, I got the shout outs. All right. Hopefully, sister, yeah, it's skipping. Once again, say something, shalom, anything. So I know you guys are on. On my side, it's just jumping. So I don't know what you guys see on your side. So I just see you guys are on, but I don't mean you guys can hear me or see me. So if not, I don't know what's up. I'll probably just record and just upload. And hopefully it doesn't skip on the upload. Okay, there we go. One comment. All right, that worked. All right, cool. Where's Sister G at? She's late for service. Anyways, welcome. Amber's on the mic too. Welcome to True Hebrews United of the Almighty Yeshua. This is beloved holiness instructor, discipleship drill. So I'm about to get into the book as usual. Definitely give all honor to the Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth and all that is in therein. Definitely providing employment, my family, my friends, the brothers and sisters in the Bible, my health, because there's some people that didn't make it to this Sabbath, which we'll be talking about a little bit today. And I just thank the Almighty for the time I have on this earth, that I could be a blessing as well, be his servant, and do his will and be the light and work in his vineyard. Give all that glory and honor through his son, Yeshua HaMashiach, the door, the only way through to the Father, but through the Son. If you think, double honor to the apostles, the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, the elders, the bishops, the deacons, across the whole world, preachers and teachers, getting this gospel out there and trying to get people to repent for the sin. All the brothers keeping the Almighty's commandments, statute, judgment, precepts, ways. Appreciate them, holding the standard and not giving up. Pray for the believers in the Congo. They're beheading some of them and killing a lot of people that believe in the Bible. I don't know if those people are in truth. They call them Christians. Anyone that use the Bible, they call them Christians. They'll call me a Christian. I'm like, I'm not a Christian. He's a Christian. So those people trying to hold the Bible and believe in the Son that are facing persecution in the Congo, pray that their faith don't fail not. A lot of stuff in Africa where they're killing Bible believers. I don't know why they don't just arm themselves and just have people at the church and just go ahead and be a militia, serve the Almighty and just pull a Maccabees. I don't understand why the believers don't do that, because he said, hey, there'll come a time where you need to take swords. Mashiach said that, so I would have already like, hey, we serve the Almighty, we protect the women and children. While he's teaching, we got 2-3 people at the door protecting. People come, then we're going to meet force with force. But I don't know, maybe their standard is, render not evil for evil. I don't know, maybe I don't get it, but hopefully pray for those Bible believers in Africa, especially in the Congo, that's really trying to hold a standard and dying for his namesake. I don't know their doctrine. Once again, hopefully they're not in idolatry and they're in truth. We're willing. Definitely all the people on the Facebook and YouTube that strive for the likes, the comments, the emojis. I appreciate you guys. I want you guys to make it into the kingdom. I want you guys to be saved. So, with all that said and being done, let's let the fingers do the walking and the scriptures do the talking. Go ahead and give me 1 Corinthians chapter 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 4. We're going to break this whole chapter down, then we're going to get into some stories a little bit. I'm going to break some numbers down in the back. So, let's get it. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4. It says, now, these are the diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. So, different gifts, same Spirit. And their diversities of operation, but the same Yah, which worketh in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit in all things. So, whether it's the gift of healing, all that stuff. This will profit everyone in the body. For one is given the spirit of the word of wisdom, and another the word of knowledge. Some people is very knowledgeable, and other people you could go for counsel. You could have someone that's very knowledgeable, like, hey, where's that at in the Bible where it does this? And they could give you knowledge. They have that. That's a gift. And there's other people like, hey man, I'm going through this on the job site, or I'm going through this in my marriage, or how do I deal with this situation? And they got wisdom. You know, one's not greater than the other, because you do need knowledge and you do need wisdom. But the best way I could describe it is you'll have two journeymen. This journeyman knows how to work. He's a hard worker. He knows how to work. But this journeyman knows how to train apprentices. He's a good teacher. He's patient. He's willing to get them to the place to where they could become a journeyman. Because not all journeymen are good teachers or good leaders. It's not. So you'll have some where you could put them with the journeyman, and those journeymen are going to make those apprentices and turn them into solid journeymen. And other ones, man, they don't have the patience. They know what they're doing. They're good. They're knowledgeable. They're good at their craft, but they are horrible teachers. They don't have the wisdom to teach the next generation. Hopefully that helps. But let's keep going, because you're like, oh, what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? But the same Spirit. To another, faith by the same Spirit. To another, the gift of healing by the same Spirit. To another, working of miracles. And another, prophesying. Another, discernment of spirits. And another, different kinds of tongues. And another interpretation of tongues. Like the gift of prophesying, or let's even say healing. Like we last night prayed for my daughter, that she gets healed from her ailment. And we'll pray, and the Almighty might answer our prayer and heal that individual. You might have where someone could just pray themselves and they actually have the gift. I might have to fast and pray, and the Almighty hear my petition. The Almighty heals them. Another brother may have our sister may have the ability to heal, and they just lay hands and they recover. That's the difference. But let's keep going. Verse 11, but all things worketh that one of the same self-spirit, divide into every man severally as he will. For as the body is one and have many members, and all members are one body, being many are one body, so also Mashiach. For one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, wherefore we being Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have all been made to drink of the same into one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. For the foot shall say, because I am not of the hand, I am not of the body, is therefore not of the body. And some people, I will tell you why some people do that. That's what you do when you don't want a congregation. And that's what you do when you say, well, you're not from my congregation. If that congregation has the foundations of the apostles and prophets, Yeshua should be the chief cornerstone. You may have some differences in the Bible prophecies, or Mark of the Beast, or what is Babylon, whatnot. Maybe some small differences on how your women dress modestly, or different things like that. But if your foundation is legit, then those are still brothers in the body, and I'll prove that. So essentially, a lot of these congregations are like gangs. Oh, you're not from my congregation, you're not part of the body. And that's not what it's saying. I'll prove that in the book. And or you on an individual basis that say, well, I don't need no congregation. I just got the Bible, and I just go where the Spirit leads, and I just do this and do that. That's you saying I have no need of the body. I'll just do my own thing. I'll just take my Bible and I do my own thing. I don't need a congregation. That's the same thing. So let's keep going. If the foot shall say, because I'm not of the hand, I am not part of the body, is therefore not of the body. If the ear shall say, because I'm not the eye, I am not part of the body, is therefore not of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole body were hearing, where were the smelling? But now have the Almighty set members, every one of them in the body as it pleases him. And if they were all one member, where would the body be? But now are they many members, but yet one body. The eye cannot say unto thee, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of thee. Nay, much more those bodies, members of the body which seem to be feeble, are necessary. All you have to do is just cut that little Achilles right above the heel of your foot and see how your foot just dangles. See how disabled. You think you don't need everything because, you think, oh, I got muscles in this. Let you get a toothache. Let you get one infected tooth, and it's like 2 a.m, and that thing is throbbing. Let's see how your day is when you go to work. Your whole day is jacked up off of one tooth. Just one tooth. Your whole day is miserable. You're just miserable and irritable and don't have the patience for children, for this coworker, for the boss on the job. You don't have the patience to eat. You don't want to do anything. You are miserable just for one tooth. One tooth. So it says, nay, those members of the body which are more feeble are necessary. And those members, verse 23, which we think the less honorable, upon those we have abundant honor, and our comely parts are more abundant. Let all the trash people stop picking up trash for 1 week, for 2 weeks. Let all trash collectors just stop working for 2 weeks and see what happens. See what happens. Oh, you're a trash man? And they don't esteem the sanitational workers. Oh, that's in the U.S. eyes. Oh, that's not a highly esteemed job. Oh, you're a trash collector. Like, even though they pay good money, but it's always the stupid people that want to frown that. But let those people not do that. Oh, because you're a corporate job. Okay, let your plumber. Don't call a plumber. Fix it yourself. Fix it yourself. When your toilet's clogged, your washing machine, or you got a busted pipe, yeah, fix it yourself. Oh, you know that little plumber, that blue-collar worker that's just dirty and wear overalls and whatnot and show up in the truck? Oh, he's just a plumber? Yeah. Those, for you to build society or even the parts in the body, you need all parts of the body. Like I teach, but hopefully the brothers and sisters rise up. I don't know how to do the Rumble and the Patreon and this. Someone's going to have to do that, to edit the videos and put music to the videos and set up the cameras and do them from different angles and the stuff we want to do and push it. I can't design banners. But Sister Whitney and Brother Vince could design the banners and create art and whatnot to push the gospel out there and create the cards with QR codes. I can't do all that stuff. But people are watching and people are scamming, and they got people to watch service from a QR code that I have no knowledge of. But they're not the minister. They're not the main teacher. Their job's not as esteemed as high. Right here, verse 23. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these bestow more abundant honor. That's the Almighty puts more honor on that. And our uncomely parts much more comeliness. For our comely parts have no need, but God tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to the parts which lacketh, that there should be no schism in the body, but that which members have the same care for one another. And whether one member suffer, this is what we're going to get into today, all members suffer with it. Or one member honored, all members rejoice with it. And that's the part I want to deal with today, is because it goes beyond just True Hebrews United congregation. One way, if you're trying to look for a congregation, if they believe that only their camp or only their congregation with the same name or same organization, then no one else is saved. That's a good sign of borderline a cult. I'm not saying all camps are cult or all congregations are cult, but if they think that they're the only one, and oh, where are you from? If you go and you meet some brothers and you ask them and check out their doctrine and all, and they have the foundation of the apostles and prophets, they may have some things different. There's some people that just wear the little scarf over their head, like, oh, I'm covering my head. And we know it means cover all your hair for a woman, but whatever, right? I'm not going to frown upon them. If you see some brothers that didn't walk into fringes yet, you know what I'm saying? And we're wearing fringes, hey, I don't look upon them. That's another Bible study on fringes, because our commandments are written upon our heart now. But no, you see some brothers and they drinking alcohol, but they're not drunk, I'm going to keep my eye on them. But, hey, I'm not going to frown upon them. They do certain things a little bit different and whatnot, but they have the foundations of the apostle prophet. They're still part of the body. That means I have a spiritual and biblical responsibility to help those brothers in need. You know, and not just, oh, well, no, you're not. No, there's one body on this whole planet, not just in your congregation, on this whole planet, one body in Amashiach. So let's keep going. Now you are, now rather one member suffer, all members suffer, or one member is honored, all members are rejoice with it. Now you are the body of Amashiach, and members in particular, and God has set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers. After that, miracles, gifts of healing, helps, government, diversity of tongues. The government is administration, another word for administration in the congregation. Whether they do the paperwork, they collect tithes and offering, they're counting the money, make sure it's faithful. They're paying the bills, paying the rent bill, electric bill, administration part of it. It's all part of the body. Having all gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues? Do all do, for Scott 29, are all apostles? That's a no. Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But covet earnestly the best gift, and I will shew unto you a more excellent way. So the whole body works together as a team. One, without a congregation, you could do nothing for the Most High other than feed the homeless. Because you could say, oh, I'll be the light of the world. But what does that do? You're trying to bring people's heart back to the Father. But how would you do that? Oh, I'll just be the light, and I'll tell them my testimony and what the Almighty's done for me. So then what happens when they want to be saved? They have to be baptized. So where are you going to send them? Are you going to baptize them? No. How are they going to hear the preaching? It says, the Almighty chose the foolish and the preaching to save them that are lost. You're being the light, but you're supposed to get them and invite them to service so they can hear the preaching of the word. So outside of a congregation, you do nothing for the Most High. You could just feed the homeless, and that's it. You got to meet up at the, are you doing feet washing? We got Passover coming up. Who are you doing the feet washing with? Because you need to do feet washing. Who are you taking the Lord's Supper with? Who are you doing that with? Without a congregation. Oh, I just take it by myself. You're supposed to have an assembly. Who are you assembling with on the Sabbath? We have live screaming, so praise the Almighty. So this is another reason why you need a congregation. But more so, verse 24, it says for verse 26, and whether one member suffer, all members suffer with it, or whether one member be honored, all members are honored with it. Let's make you question some camps. Yeah, some of the camps are full on cults. So, when one member suffered, we just had a death in the body. It was a brother that's serving the Almighty. His daughter died. His daughter was old, but his daughter left two sons without a mother, and they don't have a father either. So, the grandchild has his grandma, grandpa, and whatnot, and they're going through it right now because their daughter was fighting this sickness for like at least 8 months to a year. Oh wow! I thought she was doing better because I haven't heard any words. I thought last time I heard her, she's doing a little bit better. So, but she ended up succumbing to it. So we came, called, visit. We say, hey, is there anything you need? And we go in. They're at a different congregation and whatnot, and so we did what we could and help out. Because I know their congregation probably don't have the means or the resources to help out in that manner. So, I definitely thank the Almighty because they're not alone. When one member suffers, all members suffer. And if the daughter was serving the Almighty, we definitely would have helped more because that would have been a sister. His daughter was a unbeliever. Maybe she's keeping a little bit, but she was an unbeliever. So there's only so much we could do to help the family. She was an adult, so she was at the age of accountability. She had the opportunity to choose to come to the Almighty. I don't know if she did or not, but definitely if it was like a sister in the Almighty, we would have helped way more. But we're just helping out the brother and their family in the Almighty, what we could do to relieve them. But they're not on their own. And that's the thing is, you see, I've seen it in San Diego when I was working at the Bay for a couple years, 5 years, whatever. I've seen it at the Bay and I've seen it in Phoenix. People holding up signs, doing car washes for a funeral. To bury their loved one. And see, when you have the body, some of that stuff you won't have to do. You have brothers and sisters in the body, and you have brothers and sisters that hold you accountable. And I'm going to show you the type of accountable you have, at least at True Believers United, hopefully at other congregations, to where you will naturally not be as burdensome on the body of Hamashiach. But if a situation happened or you didn't have the ability, the brothers and sisters are there for you to help you. You're not sitting there with the rest of your family holding up signs at the mercy of people that's driving by. And essentially it says, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beggars bread. So you're out there begging for money to bury your loved one. And when you have a congregation, you won't have to go through that stuff. And this situation isn't even about having a congregation. It's more so about the body of Amashiach working together, and you're so much stronger as a team. So let's deal with this. Give me Acts chapter 11 for these people that's like, oh, if you're not from my congregation, if they have the foundations of the apostles and prophets, Yeshua Mashiach being the chief cornerstone, you have a biblical responsibility to help out brothers and sisters. There's no way around that. So when you say, oh, what camp you from? Oh, what camp? Oh, I'm from IU. I'm from this. I'm from ISU. I'm from GO. Once you start doing all that stuff, and then now you're shunning away, and some of you guys will push people away without even seeing what they believe first. Like when people say, hey, I'm from this congregation, I'm like, oh, that's cool, shalom. This and this, and as we're talking, oh, what's your thoughts on this? Or I'm trying to find out, like the Apostle Paul, what they believe. Why would I just turn them down? They might be brothers, and they might have more knowledge than me. But when you come like, I'm in the truth, and anyone outside my congregation is not the truth, and anyone's false, and anyone says anything against our elders, got to be false, and our elders are the only one that hears from the Most High, because we're so naive, and we think that only us are going to be, out of 6 billion people on the planet, only our congregation and our movement is the only people in truth. Okay, go ahead and have that thought. Acts chapter 11. If you want to be that naive, go ahead, have at it. It don't bother me. I'm going to keep the commandments regardless. I'm going to preach the word regardless, But when I see brothers and sisters trying to get there, and I understand that we are coming in this gospel 2,000 years after the fact. We don't have the apostle to say, Apostle Paul, what do you mean by this epistle? Hey, what's your thoughts on this? What about this scenario? What does this scripture mean? We're trying our best to strive in the kingdom and trying our best to interpret this word, and may the Almighty give us the knowledge. And so I understand there is a 90% chance when I meet other brothers, we're going to have some differences in our walk and in our understanding of the scriptures, right? Acts chapter 11, 27. At the end of the day, why would I knock someone trying to make it into the kingdom? They may have some, even Christians, which is not even on the radar of being saved. Some people are honestly, they stop drinking and stop smoking and stop fornicating. They just don't know Christmas is wrong. They don't know Halloween is wrong. Truth hasn't came to them. So for me to say, oh, you're a Christian, to get away from me. It's like some people are at some camps that just don't know. But we just ready to condemn, ready to just assume. Maybe you're the opportunity for them to come to more truth, or maybe things that you believe they have the truth on too. But some of these camps, oh, that's impossible. We got the truth and no one else, and we have a patent on the truth. All right, do what you do. Acts chapter 11, verse 27. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch, and there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be a great dearth throughout the whole world, all the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius. And if you tie this into another scripture, it says there should be divers and lands that prophesy. So that's why they thought that the coming of the Lord already passed, because it says there should be a famine throughout the whole world. And when that actually happened, if you read Matthew, he talked about famines and whatnot. And so they thought, oh, the coming of the Lord already passed. And that's why an epistle came and said, no, it has not passed. But let's keep going. Which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. Then the disciples, every man according to his ability, determined to send relief unto the brethren which dwelt at Judea, which also they did, and sent it by the elders by the hands of Barnabas and Saul. So now we see that there's congregations in a whole different region, in different parts of the world, came together to help out brothers they never met, brothers they do not know. They just say, hey, they're brothers in the Most High. Now, oh, well, they're not from our congregation. They went and helped out brothers in a whole different region. And you will probably meet in your lifetime a brother that you may not even thought he was brother, but he's keeping the commandments of the Most High. But just because he's not from your congregation, there's that cult mindset again. They have to be the seed of the devil, right? But let's go to Proverbs, back to when one member suffer, all members suffer. So we're going to do this, and we're going to hold each other accountable too. Shalom, Ellie Prince and Howard. Please leave a comment on what we're going to deal with right now. Proverbs, after I deal with it, Proverbs 13. These people, and watch when I bring these news, these people that willingly fight having a congregation, they're going to get wiped out. They're going to get wiped out. And not because they're not keeping the commandments. There could be people keeping the commandments, but simply because you're going against how the Almighty set up the congregation. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Now, we see, I'm not saying I've seen Bible believers, we've seen all the time they're doing car wash and trying to sell flowers to raise up money to bury them, because if the government buries in the states, that is, if the government buries your family member, they don't get a tombstone, you don't get to come and visit and do all that, and where you get to stand up and leave flowers. If the government buries them, they're done. No tombstone, they're in the ground, they're done. Either you pay to bury them or the government buries them. So this is why there's urgency. They're trying to raise all this money so they can have a tombstone and they can all come and then say their words before this, or have a little barbecue. Sometimes they have a barbecue at the graveside and whatnot to just laugh and enjoy their good time and do all that. They don't get that, right? So a good man leaveth the inheritance to his children. So we're going to deal with this, and I'm going to show you guys some pigs and whatnot. Now, first, this doesn't go to the people in Belize, but this goes to the people, probably, I know I got some people in the UK, but especially you people in the States, because I'm not sure what options you have in Belize. So let's go with, there we go. Life insurance. It says a good man leaveth the inheritance to his children. If you don't have land to give to your children, especially as a man, you're planning to get married, then you should be planning to build an inheritance and build your dynasty and build a legacy. If you're planning to have children, something that you could leave them down, and not no debt, and not them begging on the street trying to wash cars to bury you. So life insurance. Now, life insurance, I say 10,000. There's a reason why I say 10,000, but it starts. There's one place, I'm not promoting them. It's called Globe Life, and they got little plans. Once again, I'm not promoting them. And from 5,000 to whatnot, and they got children as like $3, $2 and whatnot. I think the cheapest I've seen, I think I had AAA. I had Private America one time. AAA, Private America was like $17. AAA was like $70. I think I paid $70 because they said I was overweight because I lift weights and whatnot for my height or whatever. But I just didn't get the premium. I got the second because there's 4 tiers. And the obese, so you're paying. You're like double, triple, you know. But anyways, $70 got me $250,000 life insurance, right? And you could get whole life insurance, and I'm not going to deal with all this. But if you have children, you want $30,000, $10,000 per kid, whatnot. Maybe get $10,000 more to the kid that's going to bury you. But the reason why I said $10,000 is because, let's deal with this again. The average funeral is roughly $10,000. This is the States. I don't know if you can see pretty good, but the average funeral is $10,000. So even if bare minimum, a good man leaveth the inheritance, the bare minimum, the basic is just to bury you yourself and not set your kids up to trying to sell cars and asset and do this. Now they're taking this burden because they want to show respect for you to bury you. And then you set them up for failure. And I'm going to tell you how, especially you Americans, I don't know, I'm going to lay off of the Belize because I'm not sure how it works in Belize. But bare minimum from $2 to $100. It depends if you get whole life and where no matter what, you're good, or you get 20-year fix or whatever, right? So $10,000 from $2 to $100, probably $50, $30. They're competitive, insurance company, AAA, whatever, Private America, whatever, right? So people, and I'm going to show you how you're condemned. Good man leave inheritance to his children. Now, let's go with, I told you the average funeral cost is $10,000. The United States average car payment, is $742. And if the writing's jacked up, it's because I actually had to write it backwards. Normally I write this way, but I got to write this way. So my penmanship isn't good. So the average person, and we're going to tie this all back to when one member suffered, but we're tying back to there's a death in the family and a good man leaves the inheritance. And yeah, you have the brothers and sisters that can help out. But while you're alive, hey, let's use wisdom and let's use knowledge. And especially if you have kids, and or if you don't have kids that you could give to your grandma or your mom or whatnot, to where they could bury you if you know they're not in a financial situation, right? $747. Now, the reason why I have a problem with that is because the average loan amount is $41,000 for a new car. The average loan amount is $26,000. So they're paying $742 a month. And the average monthly is 67 months. So 6.5 years. They're not even doing 5 or 3 year plans no more. The average person, this is how inflation is. That we're doing a 7-year plan or a 6.5 year plan at $742 a month. This is the average. There's some people that pay more, which I deal with. 18% of the people pay over $1,000, but I'll deal with that statistic in a little bit. So, how about, oh yeah, and the average down payment is 20% and $6,619. This is the average. The average person puts roughly $6,000 down, or $6,500 down, or 20% of the price of the vehicle. Now, why not just buy a $6,000 used vehicle? Why does the average person have to get a new car or get a car that's only 2 years old and get in $26,000 loan? Why not get a $10,000 vehicle? What is so hard to get in a 2015 vehicle and just getting a new paint job on it and put some rims on it, put a system in it, fix up the engine and whatnot? Because if you get that and you pay that off and you don't have to pay $700, then maybe you could afford the $100 and get some life insurance for your children. Oh, well, I got to have a 2023 and I got to have something shiny and the bells and whistle. And I got to impress these same people that if I died, they wouldn't even come to my funeral. We spend too much time trying to impress people that don't even care about us. Or you could live below your means and just buy within your price range. And even if you can't afford that, but you could afford that, but you can't afford life insurance, and now your kids are still trying to do car washes and begging for money. And I'm not saying our brother's not doing that. Our brother that we helped out that just had a death in pain, he's not doing that. He's in Belize, so he don't even apply. This applies to America and probably people in Europe and well-developed places, right? So which one's more wisdom? Not getting this full car payment, or getting only a $200 car payment and getting a $10,000 car and you put $6,000 down and your loan is only not $41,000 or $26,000 for a used car, it's only $5,000 you're financing. And so your car payment is like $200 and you pay it off in 2 years or in 3 years max and not 7 years. And guess what you could do now? Now you could afford to have life insurance for your kids. Which one's more wisdom, right? And I got to step up too, but I have assets I'll give my family. But before my assets increase in value, because Lord willing I'll be able to retire, I need to do that. I need to step up too, because I do. If I die, my family's going to be legit. All right, so, Lord willing I save more souls before that. The average phone payment is $151. Nothing wrong with that, because most people have a plan, family plan, 3 people, 4 lines, whatever. That's not bad. But what I don't like is the average subscription people have is $90. The average subscription. So there's some people that have a $700 payment and $90 worth of subscription. Why do you need, I got Hulu, I got Disney, I got Netflix, I got this, and Crunchyroll and this. They have so many subscriptions. What are you doing to where you need to watch this much TV anyways? And why can you pay $90 for a subscription, but you don't have life insurance? And then speaking of the life insurance, did you know 51 people? Let's get rid of the life insurance part real quick. Guess how many people have life insurance. It used to be 85. Let's see if I can write this backwards. Now it's only 51% of people have life insurance. In 2013, it was 85 people have life insurance. I looked up the statistics for subscription. People in their over 45, 50% of people have subscription, and drops down to 30% of people have subscription. So there's a lot of people that will have $90 subscription and no life insurance, and they're going to leave their kid. There's a lot of people out there that have this nice shiny car, but when they die, you're still paying off that. So when you die, guess who? That's going right back to the dealership. And guess what? Guess who's begging on the street trying to bury you? These same kids. All because you wanted the shiny 2000. I got to have it recent. All because of that. You got to have the $1,000 phone instead of getting you a little $300 phone. That $1,000 phone could get you some life insurance. A good man leaves the inheritance to his children's children. Let's go into some more statistics. And we're going to bring this all the way back to the scripture. Don't even trip. I got you. I got you. All right. So, it says 40% of Americans still have cable TV subscriptions. The average is nearly $90 a month. All right. And then I dealt with the average car payment in 2024 is $6,000. I just buy a $6,000 used vehicle. Like, I don't understand why people have this consumerism has eaten them up so much where whenever you say, hey, what kind of car do you drive? They always have to say the year. They can't just say, oh man, I got a Toyota Corolla or something, or I got a Tundra. I got a 2024. Oh, why do you got to say the year first? Why can't you say, oh, I got a Tundra? Because you want people to know, oh, I got the newest and I got the up to date. I'm up to date. I got a 2024. Oh, I got a 2025. They're more concentrated on it being new than the vehicle. And because now you want to impress, and I want to have the prestige, and I got clout, and I got, instead of just being within your means, because at the end of the day, it's your kids begging on the street, trying to bury you. What then? So you did all this to impress these other people that don't care about you, and then now your kids suffer for it. I've seen where your kids could have been in a better relationship, but because you died and you didn't leave much, now they fight each other over the limited possessions you have. And now they're not even family members no more. Your death actually broke up the family. And yeah, if they were thicker and they were closer, it wouldn't have happened. But if you would have set up a will and you would have set up an inheritance for all these kids, they wouldn't have fought over that stuff. I've seen personally people fight over possessions because he had no will and they left possession. So now they're fighting over fishing poles and I'm going to get the car and because they don't have no life insurance or they don't have no inheritance. They're not leaving them houses. You know, and hopefully I'm not in a position where I got to bury my children like Brother Burns did. But, you know, when I pass that, my kids could stick together and they have their inheritance and they don't have to struggle. They'll have something to remember me by or remember their mom by, right? So, let's go back. Now, let's do the shout outs. We'll go back to the scriptures. Devin, Katora, Occupation, Gino, Joshua, Izzy, Vincent, Kamari, Ariel, Nava, Kashef, Zahara, Damari. Appreciate you guys. Keep striving for the things of the Most High. All right, so back to 1 Corinthians chapter 12. 2 more scriptures, then we'll get into some news. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Verse 26. And whether one member suffers, all members suffer with it. Or one member honored, all members rejoice with it. So not only we should take personal responsibility to for what goes on in our life, but When you go through a death and you have 15, 16, 20 people of your brothers and sisters that has your back, that means something. I don't understand why, one, there's individuals in life that love burning bridges with people. Don't you want people in your corner? Why do you burn bridges with people? And two, why do you not want a congregation? One, I get it. You don't want to take accountability for your actions, or you have a problem with authority. Some people just have a problem with authority altogether, but they live in chaos because the reason why they look stupid, oh, I don't like authority. I'm like, you cannot build a society with people like you. You have to have regulations. Let's say I make an invention called a car, but I don't have speed limits, but I don't have street lights, but I don't mandate car insurance and registration. Do you know how chaos this will be? What if I make another invention called the internet? And remember back in the day when the internet, there was all this child porn and all this stuff going on, and they had to regulate that. There needs to be structure and order. Let everything be done in decency and in order. And these people that fight having a congregation, they just want chaos. You can't build anything with people with your mindset. There's no society, no village, no jails, nothing could be built with that mindset. And they don't understand that. You have to have structure, and you have to have order, and you have governments, administration, and regulation. You have to have that. You have to give up a little bit of freedom for the betterment of society. You can't just drive as fast as you want and ignore stop signs. You'll kill people, right? So then, oh, I don't like people, all this and this. These people that fight congregation because they like living in chaos. They don't like structure. Anything, any form of government, they feel bound, but you cannot build no society without government. You need government. So, what I've noticed is 80% of the stuff you go through in life is based upon yourself. If you choose for 10 years or 5 years as a man and you're paycheck to paycheck and you don't choose to get a second job, then on that 6th year when you're still broke, whose fault is it? If you choose for 5 years not to work on your resume and not to apply for a better job, then on that 6th year when you complain, dude, I'm always broke and money's tight, I can't go on vacation, this and this, whose fault is it? What effort have you put to get out of your situation? And so the majority of time, especially as men and women can understand, we are in this situation. There's things out of our control, like a death in the family, or you get hit by a car. There's things outside of your control. But most of the things, if you apply yourself, you could solve that problem. I spend Sundays looking at different ways to make money. While other people are scrolling on their phone and spending $90 on subscription and watching, did you catch that series on Netflix and Better Good and this and that and Game of Thrones? And they spend their time entertaining themselves with movies and stuff like that and spend their Sundays, man. I watched 3 football games. I was there all watching the game and I fell asleep. I woke back up and started watching the game. And they spend their time. I spend my time figuring out different ways to improve my family. So at the end of the day, if I retire early and you got to wait till 55 and hopefully you get the pension and hopefully you get your Social Security and hopefully that's still there around, and if it gets taken away, then whose fault was it? Whose fault was it? So, yes, we have the body of believers, and I'm tying that into we should leave an inheritance for our children. That way we don't be put in a bad position or our children in a bad position, and understand that we are in the position based upon the decisions we made in the past, and we can make better decisions now to get out. While you have that, you have your brothers and sisters that got your back. So when you go through those things, they're there for you. They suffer with you. They're there praying, they're with you. They're seeking the Most High with you. They're in your corner. So one, why fight a congregation? And two, that's what the body's here for. Let's go. And when one member suffer, all members suffer. And when one member be honored, all members rejoice. Because I know there's going to come some time where I'm, Lord willing, I'm going to be doing real good. And when I eat, all my brothers and sisters going to eat. It's going to be real good. We're going to be eating real good. We're going to be steak and potatoing once a week or something. We're going to be eating some real, it's going to be nice. Nice. You know what I'm saying? But Praise the Almighty. Next scripture, Proverbs, and we'll get into the news, are 2 more scriptures. Proverbs 18. Proverbs 18, verse 24. And it says, a man that have a friend must shew himself friendly. That goes to your, you introverts, even though you come to the Almighty, I really don't. No, you need to show yourself friendly because you need friends. Oh, no, I just do my own thing. There's going to come a time where you're going to need someone. This is, the Almighty makes this essential. There will be a time where I'm going to need someone. Sister Gia, or Brother Vince, or whoever of the other members. There was a time where the family was leaving out of the country, and we needed someone to watch the dogs. And Sister Gia's son came and helped us. We had no help. We needed help. Come a time when money was tight, and Brother Vince came through this. He makes it like that on purpose so we could depend on each other and work as a body. That's the purpose. He will put me in a place where I need Vince, or I need Sister Gia, or I need Sister Whitney. He will put you in a place because we need each other. We need each other. This is how the body of Hamashiach works. It doesn't come where you come to service, you work service, oh, shalom, you shake hands and you just go. You don't call them. You don't see how they're doing. If they're sick, you don't come and drop off some soup or whatnot. If they're going through it, you're not there. If they have a death in the family, oh, I'll pray for you, and you're off to your own life. That's not, why even be part of the body? Just stay home. Don't even come to church at that point. You really don't care for them. You really don't love them. We dealt with love, remember? We really don't care for them. We really don't love them. We got to work as a team. We're one unit. And yes, our unit is outside of just our congregation as far as True Hebrews United, but there's other brothers on this planet that's holding a standard, keeping the commandments in the trenches, praying to the Most High, living holy, living righteous. And we got to be there for those brothers too. You know what I'm saying? It may not be to the same extent, but like they sent relief to help out, we send relief to help out. You know, we'll do our part. We'll chip in. They got a congregation that can chip in too, right? Last scripture, Ephesians chapter 4, then we'll get into the news. Verse 10. He that descended is the same also that ascended far above heavens. We know who that is, that he might fill all things. He says, you know, I come in the fullness of the scriptures, right? Now, check this out. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. He set these ministers up. So when you say you don't need a minister, then you're going against what he set up. And he set some. This is what he set up. So you're not, I want to do my own thing. You're going opposite of what he set up. You're a thief and a robber, essentially. Not even you are. All right. Verse 12, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of the Christ. So we all come together in unity of the faith and knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man. So you can't be perfected without ministers preaching the gospel unto you. Until the measure of the stature of the fullness thereof, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed and fro, carried away with every wind of doctrine, through the sleight of man and cunning craftiness. And cunning craftiness, there's some good prosperity teachers, prosperity speakers that call themselves pastors, and they will be telling nothing but lies, but their charisma and how they speak, you will think it's true. Prime example, a grimy person was Obama, but he was a good public speaker. He motivated and captivated the crowd. He was a good public speaker, but he was just as wicked as the rest of them. T.D. Jakes, all of them. Why need them buy them? Straight Cleflo Dollar, all that. They are good public speakers. They motivate and they get them charged up, ready to go. But they preach damnable doctrine. So you're saying, oh, I'll just eat a little bit here or eat a little bit here, and I'll eat the meat and spit out the bones and blah, blah, blah. All those little cliches. Watch them go to the lake of fire. Watch them go to the lake of fire. You don't even know what meat and what bones is. So how are you going to know what to spit out and what not? Because you're just going to go after your own emotions. That's all you got. Because you don't know the word enough to even know what the meat and the bones are. So you're going to go about your feelings in your own mold, and you're going to use your logic, but his ways are not your ways, and his thoughts are not your thoughts. So you're going to go after your own thoughts and your ways, thinking you could spit out the meat or eat the meat and spit out the bones to your own destruction. Let's keep going. But speaking the truth, verse 15, may grow unto him in all things, which is the head, even Amashiach. This is the scripture I want to get to. From whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted, that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, make an increase in the body unto edification of itself in love. The whole body works together as a team. As a team. It's not just come to service, shake some hands, and go home. Come to service, shake some hands. We got outreach. We got this to do. We got to do administration, janitorial work, whatever. The whole body works together as a team. So, praise the Almighty. Praying for the family that had the death. Brother Burns, be praying for him. Hopefully he gets comfort and whatnot. Pray for Kenny. Hopefully, Lord willing, he gets strength and he come over and stay in the Most High and don't charge the Almighty foolishness and don't go to perdition. Don't go to sin, but he could stay in the things of the Most High. Let's go with the news. All right. I do some news today. Oregon going after chicken farmers again. Oregon, man, I don't know what about Oregon, but they are on Oregon. They are always going after the preppers here. Let me pull some articles real quick. Bear with me. All right. Resident farmers take Oregon, they take them back to court because for this one, they were going after the farmers because I deal with the bird flu in a little bit. They're saying, oh, you're a chicken farmer, but you're contaminating the land and you're contaminating our water source. So they went around because, Bill Gates, and they want all the farms to be factory-led, industrial-led farms. And these are like free-range farms, like chickens without the garbage stuff in it, right? Without the steroids and everything, GMOs and all that. So they're going after these farmers saying, oh, you're contaminating our water source, so you got to shut down. They're trying to shut down the farmers. So these farmers are going back to court like, no, that's not true. Where are you pulling this information that our chickens are contaminating our water source? And Oregon gets a lot of water and they get a lot of snow. So I don't know how they're getting that. But the other thing is there was a bill they're trying to pass. Oregon bill. Look at this one. This is where it's going. This ain't just Oregon. I'm going to tell you this. Oregon bill seeks to criminalize breeding and raising livestock for meat. So chicken, cow, goats, they want to make it illegal for residents. Whether it's you homestead, you being a prepper, and or you being a full-on butcher house, a slaughterhouse, cows, chicken, goat, they want to make it illegal for you to raise your own livestock. Because they want you dependent on the beast system. And I'm going to show you that this isn't just Oregon. They're just testing this out in Oregon. And Oregon's trying to push back. There's another article which I didn't have because my phone with my YouTube's been acting up because I've been trying to circumvent it. But now it won't even let me log in with my account. So all my news, you can save your different videos and files. Now my news I've saved. They're trying to go people in Cole, which Kill, kill these public people's chickens to fight bird flu, right? To fight bird flu. So they're trying to say, hey, you got to get rid of your chickens because we're trying to get rid of bird flu. So they're trying to crush being a prepper. That's why I said get out of Babylon. Then they've already been saying that, we're afraid that the bird flu might mutate and contaminate in other animals. Translation, we're going to get the bird flu and put it in the lab and mutate it and send it back out to where it could go after your cows and go after your pigs and go after your turkey until now we could have legislation to vaccinate all this stuff and make it poison onto you, which makes you sterilized and makes you sick or changes your DNA. Essentially, that's what they're saying, right? So they're saying, oh, we're afraid. And then now there's an article, because they were saying that a while ago. Wait up, where's that article about? Now it mutated. A bird flu might mutate. They're like, it might mutate. And then I just seen one where, oh, it mutated now. But now check this one out. Look what the WF, the World Economic Forum, this Charles Schwab guy, WF demands ban on homegrown food to stop global warming. So now they want you can't have a garden in your backyard. You can't have livestock. They're already starting in Oregon. They're trying to make it worldwide to where you cannot be a prepper. That is their goal. They want you to eat their lab-grown meat, their poison pesticide, Monsanto, Bill Gates owning vegetables, and then you just die off, sterile. And your kids are sterile. And you're always sick, and you go to pharma, and you be sick from pharma, and they give you, you're sick from their food, and they give you something to do this, which causes something else, and they give you something to stop those symptoms, and now you're taking like 3 prescriptions just to survive. And oh, there's still chemtrail in the air, and you still got 5G poisoning, weakening your immune system. Your water still has fluoride and heavy metals in it, and they're doing nothing about it, and they already know about it. And then they know these vaccinations, I probably shouldn't have said that, are not good for you, but they're not going to say nothing until they get a large class action lawsuit, right? It makes no sense. This is why I say, come out of her, my people. Come out. Get out of Babylon. They are going to criminalize you and make it illegal for you to be a prepper. Like, you know, this one guy called, I think Pastor Jones or something. I used to watch him. Dow. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to try to crush the dude, even though he has his own problems. I'm not going to, he has some big problems, but whatever. Anyways, there's this guy called Pastor Dow, and he has land and everything. But when they criminalize growing livestock, and they criminalize growing your own food, and they make some stuff like you're contaminating our water source to prevent that, and or they'll say you're taking too much water, or you're causing global warming. When they say stupid stuff like that, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? This is why it's best to get out of Babylon, because you're not going to, just live off the land until they make it illegal. Until they make it illegal, you're going to live off the land until they make it illegal. Look at this. This is what they're trying to do to the whole world. Demand a ban on homegrown foods to stop global warming. You're causing global warming. How is growing fruits and vegetables that provide oxygen to the planet cause global warming? Let's read this. Yup. Oh, yeah. And by the way, agreeing with her comment, did you know that Mexico has 0 cases of bird flu? Mexico doesn't have a shortage of eggs or chickens. It's kind of weird how that works out. It's weird how Mexico does not have a problem with bird flu. It's only U.S. I wonder what the COVID-19 and bird flu have in common. They're all made in labs. We need to cause a shortage of food. We need to cause a shortage of food. This is what we want to get to. This Hegelian dialect. We want to get people to depend on us for everything. But they have the dollar, okay, but we want them on CBDCs, or we'll just rename it called a stable coin, right? So we need to destroy the dollar and then get them on a digital system to where we could track everything and we could have expiration dates and do all this. So let's inflate this dollar and destroy it where no one trusted it, and we'll go digital. Now we have control. Okay, we need them to only eat our food. Let's do it. There we go. Backwards. How are we going to do this? Let's make being a prepper illegal. Let's kill off all the chickens. Let's create all this chaos, and the price of everything go up. But guess what's cheap? Our lab-grown meat that FDA approved. Remember, they approved 2 companies to make lab-grown meat from cancer cells. Oh, our Monsanto GMO. You're making your own heirloom tomatoes that are healthy for you without pesticides. We can't have you healthy. We need you to have our tomatoes with pesticides and our seedless oranges and seedless apples and seedless watermelons and genetically modified and over pesticide and vaccinated, because they're trying to put vaccinations and your fruits and vegetables, mainly your salads and stuff that you eat raw, because if you cook it, it'll kill the vaccination. So they're trying to put it in lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, all the stuff that you don't cook. They're going to put it in that, right? How can we get people to this side to where we have full control? How can we get people to beast system? We have to cause a shortage. So, Hegelian dialective. You already have the solution. You cause the problem, and you bring the solution and bring them into your control. So, a head on the swivel is getting tight. I keep telling you, get your passports. Don't get too comfortable. Salvation is for the wayfarer man, the traveling man. Just like Abraham had to leave to go to a land that he did not know. Have that same faith. Be a traveling man. Don't get stuck on staying in Babylon. They will pass laws. Any solution you think you could do to stay here and live off the beast system, they'll just pass legislation and make it illegal. They'll just do that. Remember that woman that got kicked off her land because she was using rainwater, and they said you have to be connected to municipal water, and they kicked her off her own land because she was just living off of rainwater, and they didn't have control over the rain. Well, they kind of do with DARPA, right? But HARP. Remember? What's that other article? See if I have my internet. They're trying to pass a law. I had it on. My YouTube won't let me log into my account because it keeps saying it doesn't have this update, but I'm bypassing it to still use YouTube because I need to get a new phone essentially. But they're trying to make a law to tax people that have wells. So then I pay $10,000. I'm going to find that article and I'll bring it to you. I pay $10,000 to hit water. I hit water at 150 feet. I already got to pay $10,000. Now you're trying to tax me on my well that I paid for? They're trying to pass legislations to tax you. So you're trying to live off the grid. Let's say you're trying to live off the grid. Okay, the taxes is just $500 a year, $300 a year. But now you're on the beast system and you got to live a life without buying or selling. How are you going to pay your taxes on that? And what happens? What's the rule now? What's the rule if you don't pay your taxes? What, they stop your well? Like, how are you going to tax me on a well on my own property? I'm going to find that article for next week. Yeah, it's getting tight in America. You guys thinking you want to stay here? Oh, just live off the lip. Okay. Sounds nice. Until you're a criminal. Until they're kicking you off your own land. With all that said and being done, keep standing. Don't drop standard. Shalom.